Yes, welcome to the Make Ready podcast. I'm Daniel Tyndall, I'm your host, and in this episode, I'm addressing what to control in a world that feels out of control. So, in this moment in time, there is so much going on in the world, and things are getting very uncertain, even more uncertain, if 2020 and everything that unfolded then wasn't bad. We've got increasing war, increasing division. We've got increasing government restrictions and authoritarian style mandates coming out. It's a time of a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty. And hopefully in this episode I'll be able to just share a few things that you can control, that I encourage you to focus on, encourage us to focus on. It's a reminder to myself to not get dragged into any division, into any fear. How can we turn that fear into fascination? And I'm going to focus on the 4 areas in which I recommend to do that, and then a few ways in how you might address those. So first and foremost, we've spoken about it before on this podcast if you've been listening, the physical, the fitness pillar. Control what you put in your body and what you do with your body. Look after your health like your life depends on it, because guess what? It sure does. I very much believe that the society is stacked against us, that the corporations are stacked against us. All they want is us to be plugged in, to be addicted to whatever they're selling us, whether that be tied to our screens, watching Netflix, or whether that be eating highly processed food. That is making us sick. That is making us addicted. And when we're addicted, we're not addressing the root cause of things. So we need to break free of this. We need to look after our health. We saw in 2020 what happens when a whole population lives in fear, because deep down they don't understand anything about health, and also they know they're not in the best of health. And although I will come to mindset and our attitudes and beliefs around all of this stuff, but understanding first and foremost that your health is your responsibility and no one else cares about it, my friends. No one cares about it. So whether that be the pharmaceutical companies or the government or anyone else, they don't actually care about your health. And why should they? So it's up to you. It's up to me to look after my health and you to look after yours. So how do we do that? Training. Are you training? Are you looking after yourself? Are you doing your rehab to get over those injuries? Are you sleeping effectively? What are you putting in your body? I know things are getting very, very expensive. This is a byproduct of inflation, of when the government prints loads of money after locking down the entire world. They print lots of money, which guess what? It deflates how much you can actually buy with your money and inflates the cost of everything. Therefore, life's very expensive. However, if we're not prioritizing what we put in our bodies, we're going to have bad health. We're going to have poor health. We're going to get sick. We're going to get diseased. So, looking after that health, because when all is said and done, that is the most important thing. If we're not fit and healthy, we can be coerced, we can be leveraged, we can be manipulated. And of course we want our loved ones to be fit and healthy too. Cooking healthy meals, leading by example, getting out walking more, being active, getting your steps up, sleeping more. What other areas do you need to look at? There's various aspects of health. One of them may well be your mental health. Get off social media. And you may be watching this on social media. Follow the podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts and get off social media, because it's making us more divided, more fearful, and more distracted from what matters, and health being number 1. So look after your health, people. The second controllable is your mindset, your attitudes and beliefs, and how you view life. Admittedly, this is a challenging one because we're heavily influenced by the by the media that we consume. And that includes the news. They specifically want you to hear certain messages so that you can conform, and so that you're in a constant state of fear and uncertainty is what the world wants you in, because A, you're easier to control, and B, you're more likely to go and numb yourself out with the addictions, with the series, the movies, the games consoles, the junk food, the alcohol, anything, the pornography, anything that you can use to basically just keep you fixed to a screen and not out in the world doing things. Okay, it may sound a bit conspiratorial, but it's the truth. And the truth sometimes is hard to hear. So your mindset. How do you view life? And just because we may have this lens of, I don't think the powers that be have good intent, doesn't mean we have to be negative. Doesn't mean we have to be pessimistic or nihilistic. No, not at all. But what it does mean is to critically think. Think about the messages you're hearing. Think about what you're doing, what you're being told to do, what your body's driving you to do, what you're thinking. I always recommend people and men understand what they believe in and to have beliefs. But also question your beliefs. Where can I be wrong? And in this day and age, if you're getting a lot of your information off the internet, off social media, please question what you're listening to, what you're watching. Is it true? With the rise of AI and just people manipulating information and people's short attention spans, there's so much misinformation out there. There's so much of it. Also, the algorithm is trying to radicalize you, is trying to push you further into your beliefs, whether that be, for want of a better phrase or comparison, the left or the right. Your algorithm is likely trying to radicalize you to the extremes of your political or your personal belief system. I watch it on mine, and I'm like, no, Mr. Algorithm, absolutely not. If you want to know how dangerous it is, please watch The Social Dilemma. It's an incredible documentary and a scary one as to what these algorithms are doing to us. And you see it. I'm sat there and I see people getting further and further radicalized. And it's interesting actually getting out into the world and talking to people and hearing their opinions on things. And I'm like, And they'll suggest things about, say, the right, for instance. If I'm talking to someone left-leaning, they'll be like, oh, this is about the right. And I'm like, I could say exactly the same about people on the left. And then my follow-up question is, what media are you consuming? Are you consuming different, conflicting No, it's all one-sided. And it's just very interesting how algorithms can really be pushing us down one way or the other. And my opinion and my belief is that we should be either consuming various types of media to make sure we're more balanced, or just limit the media, because a lot of it is sharing information that's trying to keep you in fear. So critically think, guys. This is incredibly important, and part of mindset for me is being mindful, knowing what information to consume, from what source, and also when to turn it all off and be mindful. Be in the present moment. Just listen. Just be at peace and understand that it's all noise. Come to the present moment. Come to your breath. Be mindful. And this is the balance of being informed and present and discerning. But your mindset, the way in which you approach this stuff, just be analytical. Critically think all the time. So that's mindset. Emotions, really important. Self-awareness and self-regulation. You can control this. You can do the work. Guys, don't let people manipulate you into being reactive. Learn to self-regulate. We've all been around those men who lose their temper. We've all seen road rage incidences. We've all been around, or maybe been, that hothead who loses his rag and irrationally explodes. It's not attractive. It's not cool. It's not big. It's not clever. All it is means you're volatile and you're easy to manipulate. This is what the world wants you to be at the moment, is emotionally reactive. And again, everything's a balance. How can we self-regulate, be self-aware, whilst not being numb and detaching emotionally? How can we have compassion for all the things that happen in the world, but also detach enough to keep our peace? And I see a lot of people out there pointing the finger saying you should be outraged, you should be this, you should be that. Ignore all of that. That's their path. If they want to be angry, if they want to be outraged, if they want to continue being emotionally reactive, let them. Do not let anyone peer pressure you. Be grounded, be self-aware, understand what is going on for you. Use the breath work, use the meditation. Join a men's circle, join a group where you can openly share. Become more self-aware, start therapy, have a coach, journal, do these things, increase your self-awareness, understand what's coming up for you, understand if it's something from your past or if it's a genuine reaction to the current state of things, and then learn how to breathe, allow that emotion to be present and choose how to respond, not react. I guarantee you, if you don't critically think, and if you don't increase your self-awareness and you're emotionally volatile and reactive, this is how the world crumbles. This is how unrest happens, because you're weak and easily manipulated. Self-awareness, self-regulation, that's number 3. Number 4, have a strong sense of faith. Work on that pillar, work on that spiritual pillar. How connected do you feel about the world around you? It's very hard to find faith, it's very hard to find connection to spirit, to spirituality, if you're constantly consuming noise. Get out in nature. Make some time just to be present, to notice things. A big part of my spiritual path has been and continues to be getting out in nature. Getting out in solitude, in the quiet, and find God. Find faith. I've chosen the path of following Jesus. And for me, that foundation of prayer, of giving everything, surrendering everything up to Him, is become a foundation of my life, of my day. It's the first things that cross my mind, and the last things at night is prayer. And multiple times during the day, having faith, because everything can be taken from us in this lifetime, except from our faith. And in a world where the moral standards keep changing and keep becoming increasingly questionable, we can look to faith, to something that's solid, as a source of foundation, of grounding. And this is incredibly important, because when the world gets scary and chaotic, we need that grounding to fall back on. So those are the 4 areas that I really recommend paying your attention to controlling. And how can you do that? Well, get out in nature. Get out in nature more. Get off your screens. Get outside. The weather will help you be more resilient. Go get some miles under your belt. You get fitter. You'll improve your mindset. Because believe me, when you're doing those long distances, when you're carrying weight, like my 3-year-old daughter on my back, it can get hard, it can get challenging. It's character building. You can develop your health, your mindset, your faith, and you can process a lot of emotions. Long distance running, which I took to during COVID, was some of my best spiritual practice. Miles and miles and miles without earpods in, processing stuff. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. So, get outdoors, improve your mindset, your physicality, your faith, your emotions. Join community. That's going to help with your mindset. It's going to help you critically think. Find people who are open to having sensible discussion. Probably not online on social media. Join a group. like the Make Ready Brotherhood. We welcome that. Or get in person. Get in person for faith, for emotions, for mindset. Go find community. Get down to a gym. Train martial arts. Develop yourself. Develop resilience. Develop your health. Develop your capability as a man. Martial arts, men's circles, the outdoors. All powerful, powerful tools to create a good grounding in all 4 of these aspects. And I'm going to leave it there, guys, before I go on. However, just remember, control the controllables. Be aware of what's going on, but don't get sucked into it. The world is much bigger than they'll have you believe on their screens and their information. Breathe, get out there. Not everyone's a racist. Not everyone's, bought into the narratives that they're pumping everywhere. Not everyone's triggered. Not everyone's even aware of half this stuff, and some of the people I speak to are blissfully ignorant of all these things going on. They're just happy, getting on with life. And although I don't think that's the complete solution, I think we should be aware, because how are we going to prepare? How are we going to make ready for what happens and lead our families if we're unaware? But equally, there's merit in that. Turn your screens off. Don't get so triggered. Reserve the right to not have an opinion. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Guys, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying this podcast, please share it. Please subscribe. Please send it to a man who you think it may help or they may enjoy. If you're interested in the work we do with Make Ready, drop us a message on Instagram or go to the website makereadymen.com. Send an inquiry if you're interested in our coaching, in our brotherhood, and indeed if you're interested in coming to join us in person next year. We'll be releasing dates shortly. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.